Hey everyone,
We're back. We got a couple more things to tell y'all.
If I could give one piece of advice, it'd be to learn how to work and to learn how to serve.
And probably just really learning to serve with like teaching by the scriptures and serve people through the gospel and not just in service.
If you don't know how to work, you probably don't know how to serve. And if you're not going to serve, you probably should figure out how to do that. It's not easy. Nothing about this really is easy, but everything about it is worth doing. So the advice I'd give to you is if you don't know how to work, figure out how to work, because it will make or break your mission. I think Elder Deason is really good at just being honest with people. He's not afraid to share what he knows and let people know that what we have is worth knowing. A lot of the times you'll see people kind of tiptoe around certain topics like baptism or living day prophet or the family proclamation, and Elder Deason is very to the point. He will let you know what it is and why it's important and why we believe that, and he'll also let you know how you can know if it's true or not.
One of the days we were out biking around and we decided we were going to go track down this neighborhood, and hoping and just had a feeling that there was one person in this neighborhood that we needed to talk to and hit on and teach the gospel to. And so we're walking down this road going to every single house. We get down like maybe 5-10 houses and we're running out of time. We're about to head back and I'm like, let's knock on this one last door. And so we do that, and this family just moved here from, I think it was Utah maybe, and they were in the middle of remodeling their house, and this 17-year-old boy opens the door, and we introduce ourselves and asked him if he's interested in the gospel and if he's talked to missionaries before. And he said that most of his friends were Mormon and that he's really interested in hearing what we have to offer. And then his mom walks up behind him, and she asks us who we are, and we explain the same thing, and she says that she's super interested as well. And so that prompted to knock on that last door just was directly from the Spirit, and we needed to touch on that last door to find that family that the Lord had prepared for us. Elder Van does the same thing, and he's really, really good at just being blunt and to the point, but also doing it in a very loving manner. And something that is a very strong suit for him is that he's really good at explaining things to people, and he never has to search for words. He's always just able to come up with what he needs to say, and he's able to listen to the Spirit and just open his mouth and let the tongues of angels come out.
It was mostly these baby pigs, right? And we would take them and we'd put them in a pen, and then they'd race each other, and it was kind of a cute thing they would do for the people. And when you're holding the pig, I'm a pretty big elder, and I could just like grab around the pig and like pick them up, and so they wouldn't like poop on you or whatever. But the pigs really don't like that. Sometimes as a missionary, you really just want to like take people and drop them into the font. Get them in there. You know it's good for them, right? You just got to get them where they need to go. But the best way to hold a baby pig when you're trying to move it is you got to coddle it. You got to get up underneath it, and you got to hold it kind of like a baby. And then it won't freak out. It won't squeal. It won't bite you. It won't do anything like that. So tying it back into the gospel, you got to treat these people with love. You got to let them know that you're there because you care about them, and your whole purpose is just to invite them to get closer to Christ. We don't come on missions to increase the number of the church. We don't come on missions to try to just chalk up our stat cards for when we go home, but really we're just trying to bring souls unto Christ. And if you do it in a loving and caring manner, they'll feel more comfortable and they'll come to the font a lot more effectively than if you're just trying to pick them up and drag them in and drop them. So the importance of teaching by the Spirit is really one of the most important things you'll do as a missionary. Elder Deason and I found ourselves teaching a part member family, and this man, he had a very solid question. It was why was his baptism in another faith not valid or not considered legit in our eyes? And those kinds of questions are very important to people, and depending on how you answer them can really make or break the teaching situation.
It was a pretty difficult situation. We needed to be super careful. And at that time, we were kind of a little bit on edge of what to say, but I just opened my mouth. I relied on the Spirit and totally let Him take over and let Him teach. And the way that I was able to teach that showed that we're not wanting to change what you've done. We're wanting to just add on top of it. We're wanting to make something more that you can get and a way that you can come even closer to Heavenly Father.
And we've seen it all throughout our missions. Those situations, they lead to return appointments, which lead to people following up with their commitments, which lead to people eventually getting baptized and becoming converted to the gospel. And the most important thing about the mission is realizing that we can only do so much as missionaries. We need to have Heavenly Father's help. And when Heavenly Father's Spirit is doing the teaching, then you know you're being a successful missionary, because they can't deny what they feel when you're teaching them.
So what I've noticed a lot is that when we truly do follow the schedule that the Lord has set out for us, and when we really do get up at the time that we're supposed to in the morning, when we exercise, and when we get our studies in, we're able to have a very successful day. And I've really noticed that when I follow these steps that are set out for me, that I'm able to really teach by the Spirit and be guided. And compared to when I'm not following these steps that are guided out for me, I'm just not able to do those things, and I'm not able to accomplish those things that I'm asked to accomplish.
In my experience with my mission, the purpose of having studies is not just to increase your knowledge. When you do your personal and your companionship study, you're preparing for those people you're going to meet throughout the day. So it's very important what you study and how you study it. If you study material to argue with people, the Lord will give you people who want to argue. But if you study the material, like Preach My Gospel, like the Standard Works, with the intent of I'm going to use this to help someone come closer to Christ, He will give you those people who are intending to come closer to Jesus Christ.